Hi everyone, we are starting the video series on analog circuit. This is the code of 18EC42 for the 4th semester student ENC for VTU University. So in this case, we have 5 modules. The first module, module 1, we have transistor and also the MOSFET operations. So transistor, in what are the biasing technique we are using and what is the small signal module we are using, and same stuff in the MOSFET also we are using. Before going to the biasing technique, all those stuff, we will go with the small introduction on the transistor. What is transistor, how it work, and what is the biasing technique means. Previously, we are discussed on the electronics, the main device called diode. So what is this diode means? Diode, we know that it is nothing but PN junction. We have both P and N type. There is a two possibility in diode. One is if we are giving P to the DC positive and negative to the N, we are calling this technique to the forward bias, and in this we are calling whatever we are giving, this is Vi, and we are getting in the V0 case, that means output on the diode. Okay, so we are taking output on the diode usually in the N type. So output of the diode always equal to the input. So V0 is equal to Vi. Same technique if you are using into the PN junction. So if you are giving to the negative to the P and positive to the N, then what about the output side? So output is nothing but we are calling this one as a reverse bias, and V0 is 0. There is a two condition in a diode. One is V0 is equal to Vi, another one is V0 0. When V0 is equal to Vi, this condition we are calling on, and V0 is equal to 0, we are calling this one as a off. So total operation is, it is a switching operation. So diode is nothing but a switch which can operate either on and off in these two conditions. So the next advanced version of the diode making as a transistor. So what is the relation between transistor and diode and how transistor actually works? So transistor is 3-terminal device. So in the diode we have 2 terminal. One is P and another one is N. But in transistor we have 3 terminal. So how many junction we have here? We have here 2 PN junction. That means already if you have something called PN, suppose assume that we have PN, this is your diode. If you are taking one more portion to this one, that means if I take one more PN to the here, then this become as a transistor. Transistor is nothing but it is a 3-terminal device. It contain either NPN or we can call as a PNP also. So in this case, it's nothing but 2 diode combination. If you write PN according to diode, we know that this is the diode symbol. Same way, if you are writing in this diode symbol, the P is this side and N. This is the one and one more this one. This is the how transistor look like, the diode combination. Same here, if you're going with, this is the somehow, and N is P here. So this is how. Okay, this is the looking of the PNP or NPN diode. Usually we are using NPN, so we will more concentrate on NPN here, transistor. So what is actually the transistor name called? It is called BJT. So what is this B means? It is called bipolar. So we have actually electronics and holes both can be used here. So it is called bipolar, and it is junction. So it has 2 junction. So here NP we are calling one junction J1. Here we are calling another one junction J2. So it has 2 junction. That reason it is called bipolar junction. So the T is nothing but transistor. Later we will discuss why it is named called transistor. See here, if you have 2 junction, here we have only 1 junction, so we are done 2 cases. One is forward bias, one is reverse bias. Here we have 2 junction. So how many possibilities possible? For if it is junction 1 only, then we can go for forward and reverse, according to that we can do. But in this case, we have 2 junctions, so J1, J2, we can make 4 combination, how we are doing in logic designs. So it is first condition. Usually we know that 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1 we will write. Similar way, actually if you write 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So instead of 0, 0, we are writing 0 is nothing but we are giving negative signal to the PN junction. So we are calling this one as a reverse bias. So junction 1, junction 2 is reverse bias, and next case we are taking this one reverse, this one forward, and so on. Okay, one by one we can discuss what happens in this case. So when you make junction 1 and junction 2 both reverse bias, so here if you take as a junction 1, so it look like the NPN is like this. So this is your N, this is your P, this is your N. Okay, so in this NPN condition, if you are making as a reverse bias, means the both the condition, that means P is negative in the both the side. So here also negative and here also negative. In these two cases it is positive. This is nothing but the both are reverse bias in the junction 1, junction 2. Usually what happens if it is something like that, both are reverse bias? We know that this is one diode operate, and we know that reverse bias it is 0, so this condition is 0. Again this is also reverse bias, so this condition also 0, so output we are getting V0 is equal to 0. Okay, and this operation we are calling as a off operation, or in the transistor we are calling this one cutoff region. Okay, so cutoff region means here both are in the reverse bias junction. Similar way we can move for the one more technique called reverse bias and forward bias. So in this case what happens, J1 is reverse bias, so we are calling this one, when you take like this NPN, this circuit is, see, the first junction 1 is reverse bias because N is positive, junction 2 is forward bias because P is positive in this side. So what happens in this condition? Usually what is reverse bias and forward bias meaning is, we know that reverse bias means we are getting V0 is equal to 0. That means we are giving Vi, but all the Vi is resisted by someone, or it is held by someone, or these are break, or it is something like we are doing dam and water if it is coming and we are not allowing that to enter into the other side. So we are resisting these all voltage and output we are getting 0. In this reverse bias condition, we are always calling the resistance is very, very high in this condition. Okay, in forward bias what happens, whatever we are giving, V0 is equal to Vi. So if you give whatever input, we are getting output. It is a easy flow, there is nothing is resisting or nothing is holding. So this condition, the resistance value is always smaller. So we will go with that condition. The reverse bias resistance is very high, forward bias resistance is very low. Now what happens to in this case? In the if you take as a one condition like in the transistor, if you take a look of this circuit, here always the whatever the voltage is going on, we can call as a Vi, and whatever voltage in the junction 2 is usually we are calling as a V0 or V2. Now in this case what happens, if you are taking as Vi or V0 in this portion, so usually the whatever current in these both the cases, I1 is equal to I2. So the whatever current in the leaving or entering node is remains same. So I1 is equal to I2 in the junction current we are taking. Now what is the voltage actually depends on? Current is same. So obviously from the Ohm's law it is depending upon the resistor value. In this case already we discussed, if it is reverse bias, resistance is very high. So in this case forward bias means resistor is very high, very low. When the resistance is very high, Vi is greater value, because we know the formula is V is equal to I into R. Similar case, the resistance is low means V0 is less value. In this conclusion we can say that Vi is greater than V0. That means whatever you are given Vi, that is not actually appears to the V0, and we are getting very less value. This is actually the method is known as inverter, or sometime we are calling as a attenuation. Usually this method we are not using. Why? Because anywhere the losing of the very much input is not a good technique. So this technique we are using very rarely. Okay, so this technique we are not using only. In this technique what we are calling, Vi is greater than Vr, and this method is known as attenuation, or losing the information, or losing the signal, input signals. So next we are coming to the third stage. What is this third stage called? 1-0 means this is the forward bias, and next one is the reverse bias. In the third case, we are taking as this portion as a forward bias, that is nothing but junction 1 is forward bias and junction 2 is reverse bias. Usually we are calling this one as a Vi and V0 or V2, any name you can call, and we know that current in both sides is equal. I1 is equal to I2 because the leaving and entering edge are both the junction current we are taking as a. Now, according to this condition, forward bias means resistance is very smaller, reverse bias means resistance is very high. Now, what happens to the input voltage? If resistance is smaller, input is less, and resistance is high means output is very high. So, this condition we are getting that V0 greater than Vi. Okay. So, what name we can call if output voltage is more than input voltage? This is nothing but amplifier. So, this is the very important condition in the transistor. Everywhere we are using for amplification this technique. So, this condition we are calling V0 is greater than Vi, and this is nothing but amplifier, and this particular region we are making as a active region. Okay. So, in this condition we can make that it is whatever input we are given, it is more in the output side. So, now listen carefully what actually going on in this condition. Here resistance is small, here resistor is high. So, resistor is transferring from lower to higher. In this previous condition, resistor is high, and in this case resistor is low. So, again here resistor is transferring. So, this transferring of resistance is nothing but transistor. How it is look it? It is called transfer resistor. So, these two together they are taken as a trans in this condition and istor from this condition, nothing but transistor. So, easily we can say that what is the definition of BJT is bipolar two junction transfer resistor is known as transistor. Transistor has mainly two operations. One is amplifier. When this condition we are making, junction 1 we are making forward bias and junction 2 we are making reverse bias, this work as a amplifier. Okay, and anyway junction 1 reverse bias, junction 2 forward bias we are not using anyway. So both are reverse bias, it is V0 is 0 off and cut off. Again both are 1, what happens? It is very easy. Both are 1 means both are actually we are getting as a forward bias is nothing but acting. So we are usually getting V0 is equal to Vi. This is usually known as on, and region is known as saturation region. Okay. So in transistor we have three conditions. One is off condition, on condition, amplifier. Off and on together we are calling this condition is a switching condition. So switching is nothing but on and off, how we are done in the diode, same operation. And third condition is very important, that is called amplifier condition. And we have three region in the transistor: cutoff region and active region, saturation region, according to the junction 1, junction 2 conditions. So this is all about the transistor definition and operation. Another one important stuff in the transistor we have to remember. Previously I am just informing you like NPN like that. If you are right like this NPN or this portion, this is exactly wrong. We are not representing like that. Just for demo purpose I shown NPN and how it works. But usually in transistor we have very important that what is the area of NPN and how much the doping is affected on this. So when you are writing transistor, you have to care about that, and when you are taking that, N is the medium and then P is the very small and N in the another side is very high large area. So here we are going with the particular area wise how we can see. Another one is doping. So if I made plus plus, it is very high doping. If I made plus, it is a medium level doping. If I have not written anything, so it is very small or normal doping. So the very important thing in the transistor is one is area, another one is doping. From this only we can achieve the target of the transistor operation like amplifier and also like as a particular switching operations. So when you are going with the area, we are calling this portion as a collector and this portion as a emitter, and middle term is a base. This you are already studied. So in this condition, always remember, if you are going with the area, the collector is always very high. Okay, so it is, we can call as a large, and the emitter is medium, and the last one is base is very low, okay, or less. Similar way, the doping. Doping means we know that external impurity we are adding to the particular N type or P type. So it is always for emitter it is very large, okay, and for base it is medium, and the last one collector it is less or normal. Okay, so this condition we have to remember for the transistor. If you write as a common transistor, it's always look like a writing like this: N, P and N, how it is doping and what are the area affected on this particular transistor. Now we can move on the stuff called biasing. What is this biasing means? Biasing name is actually the particular voltage given to the turn on the device. If you are telling that we have to make our mobile phone to charge, we are giving 5 volts and 1 or 2 ampere current. So that particular voltage and current we are calling as a biasing voltage for the mobile. Similar way, for transistor also we required bias. When we are calling this biasing required, so already we discussed here 3 conditions. One condition we are not using, 3 condition. In this 3 condition, the amplifier is a very important portion in the transistor. For switching on and switching off purpose, we can use diode also. So this amplifier, switching on and switching off, we can use the diode only. Transistor is not required. Transistor ultimate aim is we have to use for the amplification purpose or active region. So our biasing technique also aim to that one. So biasing is nothing but a circuit which is used to establish a active region. That particular voltage is known as biasing voltage. So the aim of the biasing is we have to give proper particular current or voltage to make that. Now what is this current and voltage we can make to the biasing part? Let's see. In biasing we have mainly 4 portion is possible. First portion we are calling base biasing, second one is emitter biasing, third one is voltage divider bias, last one is feedback bias. So in this, the base biasing means base we are adjusting such a way to make as a biasing. Emitter biasing means we are making such a way that emitter voltage to vary the things and make biasing. And voltage divider bias means we are dividing voltage and making that. Feedback means we are connecting collector and base together and making. In your syllabus VTU, these 2 portions are not there. Base biasing and emitter biasing we are neglecting, and we are going for the 2 biasing technique called voltage divider bias and feedback bias. In biasing, actually what are the things we are controlling and how we are doing that? First we will check with the one simple transistor circuit. So we are taking one simple circuit. In that we have the connection DC VCC here, and we have one RC and connecting to the emitter, and it is connected to ground, and we have the input portion base anyway we have. So in this case whatever the current is going on this direction because of positive voltage given to the transistor upper portion. So this is, we know that base and emitter and collect. So whatever current is known as IC, and then we are calling in this condition in between collector and emitter we are calling as a VCE. So if you apply as a particular KVL to this one, we get that VCC is first one, then we have minus IC RC and minus VCE is equal to 0. So we are talking about the output, how to get. So in output here we are taking as a current IC and VCE as a output portion, because VCC is the applied voltage, so we can't take this one as a output, and resistor is we can make it. So IC and VCE is the output portion. So if you take as a one characteristic or output characteristic, we are always talking with IC versus VCE. IC we are taking Y axis and VCE we are taking in X axis. So in this case, now what is the IC and VCE we have to get, and what is the portion? So in this we can go with the case 1 condition. So case 1 what we are doing, the same formula we are taking from this formula. Here, first we are making as a IC maximum to get what is that. So how to get IC maximum? If you want to get IC maximum, so we have to make VCE as a 0. So take such a condition that VCE is 0. If you apply this to condition to our formula, VCC minus IC become IC maximum and then RC is equal to 0. Why? Because VCE we are taken 0. Now what is your IC maximum you will get? IC maximum is equal to, so VCC will get this side and IC maximum minus this side means it become positive. So we will get VCC by RC. So this is the formula for IC maximum. So we can take here one side, this is IC maximum. Here we are getting VCC by RC value and this portion is known as IC max. So similar way we are going for the case 2. What is this case 2 will do? Case 2, the reverse operation. That means we are taking VCE as a maximum, then we are taking as a IC is a 0. So in this case what happens? If you take this particular part, we are getting as a VCC as it is minus the same formula we are using. VCC, we are using this formula, okay? VCC minus ICRC VCE. In this we are taking VCE is the maximum, IC is 0. So VCC minus ICRC becomes 0. So we are calling VCE maximum is equal to 0. So we can call that VCE maximum is equal to nothing but VCC. So wherever we are calling the maximum value, why we are taking this row? Because this is the 0 for IC maximum. IC maximum 0, this condition. So we are getting somewhere this point, maximum point. So we are calling this one as a VCC. VCC is nothing but VCE maximum. So we got two portion. One is IC maximum, one is VC maximum. If you write the line between these two maximum line, this is known as DC load line. So this DC load line is drawn between two maximum point. Here in this two maximum point, if you take as a some middle point in between the IC max and VC max, this is known as a operating point, or we are calling as a Q point. Okay, so this operating point or Q point makes such a way that it is in the active region and transistor act as a amplifier in this condition. So what is this middle point or operating point is nothing but, this is nothing but IC portion. So half means IC maximum divided by 2 and we are calling as a VCE maximum divided by 2. This portion is known as the point for the operating point. We are calling this operating point is simply like ICQ and VCEQ. So this operating point voltage, we have to make such a ICQ, VCEQ, this make as a middle operating point. So this will make as an active region and transistor operate like a amplifier. For those reasons, our ultimate aim is to, every biasing is fix this ICQ, VCEQ such a way that it should be in the middle of these 2 points and make it as a operating point in a stable condition.